So this is a new gimbal from a company called FeiyuTech, and if you haven't heard of FeiyuTech before, then they are sort of the best of the rest, along with another couple of companies. You've got the likes of GoPro, DJI, Insta360, and then you've got the other guys below, which are really pushing the ceiling below these big guys, trying to push the ceiling limits to really make sure that everybody is kept on their toes. FeiyuTech is one of those companies, along with the companies like Zhiyun or Hohem. Those are the companies that are really pushing the big guys to make sure they're kept on their toes, and this is a brilliant product from FeiyuTech. This is their VB4 new phone gimbal, their 3-axis stabilizer. We've seen a few of these over recent months, but I've got to say this is probably one of the nicest I've seen. So it's only $119. It's a 3-axis gimbal, foldable, palm-sized, only 335 grams all in all. Comes with a detachable tripod on the bottom, like most other gimbals on the market. There is a vertical and horizontal mode with just a double press of the mode button, so you can shoot your social media stuff on here with your phone and your YouTube and horizontal content. It's got a selfie stick, 26cm selfie stick, so you can get like a wider angle for vlogging, and you can do some sort of creative shots with this. You can go low down and get some creative shots, or high up and get sort of that jib shots that you can with these gimbals, so that's a good feature as well. It's got one feature that I haven't seen on any other gimbal, and that's sort of a dedicated phone album button. So you can press this, it takes you right to the album, so you can check out the footage that you've filmed or the photos that you've captured. That's a nice, interesting feature. It's got a nice focus wheel on the side, which is smooth, feels good in the hand. The halfway press on the shutter button actually controls the focus in photo mode as well, so you can actually half press to focus on something. That's an interesting feature. It's got the usual modes like pan follow, all follow, follow and lock modes, so you can get all those 3-axis gimbal shots that you usually would with every other gimbal. Let's extend the selfie stick. There we go. I mean, the one con is that we haven't got sort of a selfie mode with the main camera. There's no way to do it, I don't think, anyway. Yeah, so triple tapping just sort of puts us forward about 4 taps. No, triple tap changes the camera, but you can't actually use the main camera for selfie mode, so that's a bit of a disappointment. That's one con, definitely. But you know, the phones these days, the front-facing cameras, like the selfie cam, are really exceptional. So that's not a massive issue, really. Having this extendable selfie stick really does help with recording yourself. Really does make things easier, and it has that tilt on the hinge on the front where it connects to the gimbal, so you can sort of tilt it towards you. So that's great. That works really well. Massive helicopter. Wow. Been pretty impressed with the application. It's quite detailed. A lot of settings in there. We've got motion time lapse and stuff like that you'd expect from like a phone gimbal like this. The controls are good. One tap the trigger to track. Okay, tracking is not supported in all follow mode. Let's go to pan and tilt. Tracking. Yeah, so this sort of just tracks the face no matter where I am. So that does a pretty good job. We'll test the tracking a bit more in a minute for like re-recognition, and if it loses me, if it catches me back up and stuff like that when I go beyond, like behind a tree or something. So we'll test that in just a second. Okay, so tracking my face. Let's see how it does with the tracking. If I go behind the tree, hopefully it'll stand there and the wind won't blow it off that wooden post I've got it on. I'm gonna go back and go back. Is it still tracking my face? I think so. Yeah, tracking did a pretty good job. Let's go around the tree to see if it actually recognises me. Is it still tracking? Hopefully it is. Let's go back behind here, back around the tree. Oh, and I think it has, hasn't it? It's still tracking my face pretty well. I think the last time it actually struggled with like a backlit situation. That makes sense. This time it did pretty well, and yeah, the tracking's working not too bad at all. Pretty impressed with that, actually. Not a bad result. Now, having used a few of these gimbals in recent months, there's one thing I think I prefer. Now, it's just a personal preference, you may disagree, but this is just my thought on this. Having this built-in phone mount, which you can power the phone with, by the way. He's got this built-in port, USB-C on the side. By the way, the battery is decent as well. It charges by USB-C with a cable that comes in the box as well. This phone mount is big, and it actually held my iPhone 14 Pro Max with a Nomad rugged case on. So it's like wide and big, and it actually clamps onto the phone well. And it's built into the tripod rather than having a separate magnetic mount. And personally, I think I prefer that because one, it sort of folds up a bit easier. So the mount is on there. You can fold it up with the mount on. You don't have to take it off every time you fold it up like you do with the DJI Osmo 6 mobile. You have to take the mount off or leave it on your phone. I don't like leaving the mount on my phone. The Insta360 Flow did it best where you could actually fold it up with the phone still attached. The way that it folded, that just worked well. But I do prefer this phone mount where it's built into the actual device. You haven't got something separate, something you could potentially lose or drop or damage. Yeah, I just think that's the better way of doing things with this particular gimbal. It's a nice looking device. This is pan follow mode, working well. If we pan left and right, you'll see it follow wherever I'm turning the gimbal. Double press to recenter it. I want to point it up just a little bit like that. So left and right works well. Then we go to all follow mode, which sort of does that. And down, up and down as well. Does that sort of POV shot as well. And then we've got pan tilt, which goes up like that and tilts the axis down. Not a bad range actually. I've been quite impressed with the range of the gimbal. Some gimbals sort of get stuck and whatnot on the arm, but as you can see, it passes it quite easily. Left and right. The motors are very strong. I've been really impressed with the actual action of the 3-axis gimbal. Very, very impressive. Actually points down as well like you want it to, and points up when you want it to, which is good in that particular mode. We'll go to pan follow again. We can switch it around if we want to, sort of a low mode, and then we can extend the selfie stick to go down low like that and get some interesting shots down low if you want to, and then switch it back around, switch it down like that, double tap and we're back to center. So I mean, everything as a 3-axis gimbal works well. Yeah, overall I've been very, very impressed with the FeiyuTech VB4. Great quality gimbal. It has some cons, it has some pros, like every product on the market. But if you're looking for a 3-axis phone gimbal, then this is a very viable option. And just on the build quality alone, you can feel this in your hands. It just feels like a good device. Very impressed with it. If you do want to purchase one, there'll be a link in the description down below. That's an affiliate link. This is not a sponsored video though. This is just my opinion of using this over the last couple of weeks or so. Really, really good quality product, and like I said, a good option if this is what you're after. Okay, that's it for this one. Make sure you do subscribe. It's free and you only get notified every time I upload, so I appreciate you. Give this video a like. It really does help that YouTube algorithm and all those things. So that's it for this one. Stay tuned. We've got lots and lots of good stuff on the way. Stuff you'll be very interested with, I'm sure. Okay, that's it for this one. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.